Welcome. I'm Hope Glastress, here today to celebrate the winners of the 2021 Kukula Award for Excellence in Nonfiction Book Reviewing, presented by the Washington Monthly Magazine, and to encourage entries for the 2022 awards.
And I'm Adam Glastress. The Kukula Award is the only journalism prize dedicated to celebrating high-quality reviews of serious, public affairs-focused nonfiction books. But it's close to our hearts for a more important reason. It honors the memory of our mom, Kukula Kapoor Glastress, the magazine's longtime and beloved books editor, who passed away in 2017.
Earlier this year, 7 distinguished judges chose our 2021 winners and finalists from more than 125 outstanding submissions, published in a range of print and online media outlets in 2020. Winners were honored for their clear and artful exposition, original and persuasive thesis, and ability to enlighten readers with new and valuable information.
Judges gave priority to works of politics, public affairs, history, and biography, all themes that Mom was most passionate about. We think she would have loved every one of this year's book reviews.
In 2021, prizes were awarded in 2 size categories. Among smaller publications, this year's top award went to Sophie Hagney in High Country News for her beautiful review of Yellow Bird, Oil, Murder, and a Woman's Search for Justice in Indian Country by Sierra Crane Murdoch.
And in our larger publications category, our top winner was Carlos Lozada of the Washington Post for his review of White Fragility, Why It Is So Hard for White People to Talk About Racism by Robin DiAngelo.
Today, we're going to hear from these gifted reviewers and from an equally talented group of writers, our judges, who have both reviewed books and had their books reviewed. First, a word about editing book reviews. There are special talents a good book review editor should have: a broad knowledge of the world, an ability to challenge a reviewer's argument, a sense of what readers already know and don't know about the subject. Our mom had all of these talents.
But it was her literary gift that most distinguished her work. She had a highly tuned sense of language, how a sentence sounded, how an essay would make a reader feel. And that is what gave her the ability to edit impressive, even beautiful book reviews month after month for 14 years.
Great reviews of quality nonfiction are the civic-minded, activist intellectuals' one-stop shopping. Their literature, their history, their logic, debate, and most essentially, the yellow brick roads to entire bodies of knowledge. If they are not all these things, by the way, they are not great reviews.
So the first book is one that Sophie Hagney wrote about for High Country News. Now, a lot of people don't know High Country News. They should. It's this wonderful regional publication that really focuses on the West. And what she does really, really well is captures this sense of place and a sense of the book.
She wrote about it as a complex work. And that is the kind, it takes quite a lot of thought to do that. You have to read very carefully to do that. It's a greater responsibility in a certain way than just doing a run-of-the-mill comment on what it is. But it also teaches us all to read, because as readers, we need to become more sophisticated in how we read our more complex nonfiction.
One of the things I learned working with Cuckoo was the importance of sticking to the space that you have. So I think she would have been particularly pleased to see a winner who managed to make the most of the space that she was given and really communicate clearly the importance of this book.
I feel really grateful to be recognized in this way, and I think, yeah, just drawing attention specifically to the idea of the nonfiction book reviewing as a craft that I think is really distinct from reviewing fiction, from other kinds of nonfiction writing. I think that just is really meaningful, because I think of it as a really important craft and part of the cultural landscape.
There was a book that got a huge amount of attention entitled White Fragility by Robin DiAngelo. And it was her manifesto on race relations in the US. And it was praised, it was criticized, it was occupied top spots on bestseller lists for quite some time. And so a lot of people wrote about it, and that made Carlos Lozada's review have to meet an even higher bar almost, because it was a very noisy landscape. And again, he wrote just this commanding and searing indictment of this book for the Washington Post.
The question of structural racism is one of the most important, maybe the most important question facing society today. There's been a barrage of books on the topic, some of them pretty good, some of them borderline silly, and white fragility borders on silly. And I was impressed that Carlos Lozada was willing to say so. In the current climate, you're expected not to criticize anything that calls America a terrible place. But you can call America a terrible place, or to be more precise, you can criticize the things that are wrong with America in an intelligent way, or you can be silly, which is what white fragility is. And Lozada was willing to say so, and I thought that was admirable, and so did the other judges.
What he did is talk to us about why the book would be appealing to a certain demographic of white readers, and why that's a problem, and why that actually contributes to the problem of white racism.
I go through each book multiple times until I've developed a really kind of robust file with quotes and ideas and questions and thoughts about the book. People often ask me if I'm a speed reader or something. It's completely the opposite. And it takes a long time, but at that point I feel like I've really absorbed the book and I'm ready to write about it. And you're never fully equipped, right? Because in the end, you're dabbling from subject to subject, every week or every time you sit down to write. But that's what makes it challenging. That's what makes it fun. A work of criticism needs to stand on its own, independent of whatever the art form or the book or the film, under review. And so I hope that what folks in my line of work can do can be literature in its own right.
Thank you for watching. The 2022 Kukula Award competition is now underway. If you're a book reviewer or an editor, I invite you to send the best work you did last year. The application process is free, easy, and available on our website, WashingtonMonthly.com. The deadline is April 8th. And if you think, as my beloved Cuckoo did, that reviewing serious nonfiction books is a noble craft and one that enhances our democracy, I hope you'll consider supporting the Kukula Award by going to our website and clicking the donation button. We're a nonprofit, so your gift is tax deductible and much appreciated. Thanks again from all of us at the Washington Monthly.